everybody, my name is Kira,
Hi, my name's Tom.
and both of us are from Headway, Glasgow. And as part of our wellbeing workshops, we're going to focus today on memory and hopefully give you some tools on how to make memory work a little bit better for you. So let's talk a little bit about an introduction to what memory actually is. So head injuries can create problems with memories. So recall of memory can often be quite difficult.
And of course, using working memory to recall information can sometimes be a problem.
So this is, in general, people haven't really learned like a strategy to help their working memory. So hopefully today, over the course of this video, that's what we're going to hopefully do, is give you some strategies and talk to you a little bit about how to make memory work a little bit better for you.
Oh, that'll make a big difference, big difference.
Definitely.
We can use the information to help you work out how to get the working memory better. Just by that.
Exactly, Tom. And just with continual use, memory does become better and you don't need to think about it so much. So it's like everything, the more you practice and the more you do something, the easier it gets.
Absolutely.
So perfect. So Tom, if you don't mind starting off a little bit and talk to us about new learnings and understandings, please.
Sure. Over the next few weeks, we'll provide skills and tools to help improve your life in general. Make your life a lot easier knowing what to do. Okay.
Exactly, Tom. Fingers crossed anyway. That's what we want to do. And just will hopefully give you a wee bit more freedom to make decisions that suit your life a little bit better.
And of course, don't expect to get in all learnings 100%. Learn bit by bit.
Exactly.
And with relevant parts to you.
Exactly, Tom, 100%. I think it makes sense to do it bit by bit and not overwhelm yourself. So, and as well, just going off what you're saying, like you never have to recite anything perfectly. Like most of the time they'll just happen unconsciously as you get to do them and know everything a wee bit better about how your brain works, and then you'll just do it and not even think about it. So.
Oh, exactly. It just comes, you're unaware of it.
Exactly.
And the most important bit of all is being relaxed. Feel free and just relax down. You do it.
Exactly, Tom, because like what we always say, learning is fun and it's meant to be fun.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Oh, that's fun, Tom. So let's talk a little bit now about what memory actually is, because we've been talking a lot about memory, but we've not actually explained what memory is. So that's probably a good start. So memory refers to the processes that's used to acquire, store, retain, and later retrieve information. So it's all these processes that your brain does automatically. It's all this information that we're taking in and we're trying to remember everything. So your memory is a very complex thing, which can seem quite daunting, but hopefully at the end of this video, you'll feel like you understand it a little bit better. So Tom, do you want to talk a little bit about how memory is stored?
And of course, that's a good description there. And now
Thanks,
it's
Tom.
how memory is stored. There's so different parts of the memory. There's 4 in this case. We discuss, first of all, short-term memory. It's the type of memory responsible for shortage of short-term information. It's like remembering phone numbers, remembering shopping lists, remembering television's on at 7 o'clock. It's just these small things that it's functional. I always tend to be a repetition exactly what it is. And you're going to explain more about working memory?
Yeah. Working memory is the memory that involves kind of like storing, focusing all your attention on and handling information for a relatively short period of time. So just like a few seconds. So it's like different from long-term memory and stuff because it kind of happens in the moment and it's just how your memory like involves like doing tasks and stuff like that. So yeah, Tom, do you want to talk a little bit about long-term memory?
Oh, yeah, of course. See, working memory, again, the difference between working memory and short-term memory. Short-term is very black and white, whereas working memory, you can manipulate it. So it's like, for example, it's like you can remember, oh, I have to be there for 8 o'clock. And you trying to remember it by 8 o'clock. Well, what if from earlier? What if from later?
Yeah.
What effects you get in there? That's a very important part, a very crucial part of how we work as human beings.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for explaining.
And then, obviously, with long-term memories, Long-term memories is like things. It's like when you pass your driving test, or maybe it's like when you move to a new house,
Mhm.
or set exams, pass exams, whatever, or get married, whatever. It's an event, long-term events that stand out in your mind.
Yeah, like
So you
big
want to
events that
mention.
you can remember,
Yeah,
like the big things that
yeah.
have happened. No, that's
Brilliant.
interesting, Tom.
And now, can you tell us more about procedural memory?
Yeah, of course. So procedural memory is kind of like just how things are done. Like you remember how things are done. And
Okay.
procedural is like what you've learned or copied by seeing it, and it's stored by actions to remember tasks. So it's kind of like how we remember to like turn on the TV or how we remember to
Mhm.
read a book or anything like that. Like it's just all kind of automatic and
Yeah.
inside you because you've learned it over the years and you've accumulated all this knowledge. So yeah, it's just stuff that we know how to do automatically, kind of thing. What do you think, Tom?
Oh, yeah, and that's exactly it. A classic example of procedural is sports. Learning how to do sports, a particular way. And he goes down to play from there. So that basically sums up the memory how it's stored. Okay.
And now we're going to move on to your favourite bit, Tom, aren't we? So the
Ah.
memory process. Here we go. So take it
Now
away,
we've
Tom.
covered what is memory, we've covered how memory is stored, and now the memory process will come in there. It's very simple. It's in three processes: encoding, storage, and retrieval. How you encode information in your mind, how you store it in your mind, and how you retrieve it. Now, what happens if there's any part of that didn't quite work in? That's how you forget. Okay. So how you encode information comes to your senses. Can be things like from your seeing, hearing, or feeling, or even taste or touch, something like that, or smell. And so that stored information of the event happening. Then how is it stored from you? It's something you don't really pay attention to fully, but it's how it's stored so you can remember it, retrieve it easily for next time. Like for example, you make a point of remembering a shopping list. And how are you going to remember that? By storing it so that every time I want to go through the supermarket door, I remember it. I remember exactly the first things because that's where I get to and go to it and get it done easily from there. Okay.
No, that's
So
great,
when you
Tom.
go and receive it, when you walk in the shopping door, it's a bang, it comes back into play, just like that. And so that's the memory process.
Thank you,
Again, it's
Tom.
very, very important. Kira.
Very interesting as well, learning how it's used in everyday life. Like, because when you walk into a shop, most of the time you don't think, "Oh, my
Yeah.
brain is retrieving information that we've got earlier."
That's
So,
a
no,
good
it's
one.
great. So, thank you for sharing that with us. So, now we're going to talk a little bit about how to make memory work a little bit better for you, because most of the time, none of us really know how to work, like make memory work better. So, this might be a good way to hopefully provide some information on that. So, especially people with head injuries often focus on memory not working properly. But maybe instead of that, why don't we try and focus on making memory work a little bit better for you? So maybe do this by thinking about not overwhelming your brain by trying to learn everything in one go. Like try and break things down into manageable chunks and make it a little bit less daunting. So for example, if you had a list and you were trying to remember 10 things in that list, maybe start by learning 2 or learning 3 and just build yourself up because like I couldn't even like try and learn 10 in for like 10 things, like take all that in. It's too overwhelming and as
Too
well
much
like
information.
it's too much information, Tom. I know. But we as humans, we always want to challenge ourselves and make ourselves want to do the maximum we can do. But no, it doesn't work like that. Like we need to try and do things like in little manageable chunks and just stop ourselves from getting overwhelmed. So when we're talking about this as well, it might be a good idea to like think about what parts will help you understand memory better. So this might be a great way for you to try and just break down memory a little bit and just get a little bit better over time. So yeah, hopefully this would be a good tool to try and help you with that.
Oh, that's good, Kira. There's a good point you said earlier about people with injuries focusing the memories not working properly. But, that's always the case. Instead of looking at the downside of things, That's because what it talks about before, the three processes of retrieving memory, there's something not quite right in any one of these. So if you look at how to improve it, can make it work more efficiently. That doesn't mean it's going to happen all the time, 100%, but if you're more aware of it, it'll happen all the time. So instead of focusing on what you don't do well, focus on how you can do things better for yourself, achieving better.
Exactly, Tom. It's so true. It's just kind of again falling back to like being kind to yourself and just being nice to yourself and not
Absolutely.
being hard on yourself. So yeah, definitely agree, Tom. Brilliant advice. Thank you. So if you want to maybe talk a little bit about homework task, Tom, please.
Right, good point. Now, overall, what we covered today, if you go back over the video and look over it again and again, and then decide what points you've covered so far, stand out to you, help you remember them mostly, write them down, more prominent to you. That makes a big, big difference.
No, I definitely agree, Tom. Thank you. I think this would be a brilliant task to just try and support people. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Tom.
And you
And
want
just
to tell
to
us a summary?
Yeah, definitely, Tom, just to finish off. So this video is broken into two parts, and the video that we've just covered just now is part one, where we talk about the basic understanding and just to kind of warm up to what memory is. So we hope we've helped you a little bit with this, but we would love it if you'd come back and watch part two, which will give you some practical tools to help you with what we were saying, just to make memory work a little bit better for you. So we thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you in part two. Bye, take care.
Ciao.